Hello, my name is Jordan Krizik, and here's my EDL 850 case study. Synthesize the facts. This is a St. Regis school. I believe it's a rural area. Serves students grades K through 8. High school students are bused to a larger city 30 miles away. There are 420 students at St. Regis schools, 2 teachers per grade level. Financial support is meager. It is state allocation. 2 large fundraisers, 1 fall and 1 spring fundraisers that contribute to the fundraising. Mr. Sample has been at St. Regis principal, has been the St. Regis principal for the last 3 years. He came new to the district. Received feedback that he has more supporters than resistance from faculty and staff, wants to maintain status quo moving forward. Through fundraising, the PTA has bought 20 new computers over the past 3 years with the sole intent to purchase new software for them for the next 2 years. Mrs. Lynn, the library/media specialist, prioritized software for the teachers for what they need. The software was ordered and installed in the computer lab. Teachers wanted the software installed in their classroom computers. Mrs. Lynn ordered blank CDs where she copied the software and put it on the blank CDs and handed them to the teachers. Mrs. Bland does not want to accept the CDs and informs Mrs. Lynn and Mr. Sample of the copyright violations on the commercial computers programs. Mrs. Lynn does not see an issue with this. Legal or ethical issues. Mrs. Brandon brought up a problem to Mrs. Lynn and Mr. Sample about copyright violations from commercial computer programs. Mrs. Lynn sees no problem copying the computer programs and distributing them to the other teachers in the building. The president of the PTA helped burn the computer programs to the CDs with Mrs. Lynn. This is not ethical. Not right to use someone else's material to use as own. Definitely need the program's admission or acceptance to use that. It's not legal. Direct use of fair use. Synthesis of what happened. Mrs. Lynn is trying to stretch the district's dollars by burning corporate computer programs to CDs, but Mrs. Brandon knows that it is in direct violation of copyright infringement. Synthesize the facts. People. Mr. Sample, Mr. Brandon, Mrs. Brandon, Mrs. Lynn, Mrs. Evans, she's the PTA president. The St. Regis teachers and students, they're all being affected by this. Place St. Regis School District. It is a rural area. The program is K through 8, computers/media, the classroom, and also the public for the community. Review and prioritize information. Yes, the decision being made could damage stakeholders and community. A potential copyright lawsuit could devastate the school and the community. Individuals and groups have a very important stake in the outcome. Mrs. Sample, Mrs. Brandon, Mrs. Lynn, the PTA get resolved and taken care of, or a potential lawsuit could occur. All stakeholders been consulted. Majority, yes, can speak with the PTA to see if we would like to purchase more computer programs or keep the programs in the computer lab strictly. This is more of the teachers and the administrative side, speaking with them and seeing what they would like to do. I feel there's enough to make a decision. The discs need to be taken from the teachers that have been distributed, and they need to be informed about copyright infringements and laws and policies. Options. Options 1. You could do nothing and act like Mr. Sample did not know of the actions taking place. The corporate computer company may hear about the infringement on their programs, and a lawsuit could occur. Inform staff of copyright infringement. Have Mrs. Lynn pick up the distributed CDs, meet with the PTA, and continue to fundraise for more computer programs. PTA might not want to do more fundraising because they feel that they're asking a lot from the community. Staff might see you as someone who does not want the well-being for the students. I mean, you're not really trying to stretch the dollars. You're doing things correctly. Option 3, you could terminate Mrs. Lynn for copyright infringement. Make a statement to other teachers. Staff might view you as a harsh principal. You could lose respect of teachers. Evaluate options. Option 1. Pros to this: no one's feelings are hurt. District dollars are getting stretched. By the cons, not legal, ethically wrong. Create a negative culture. Option 2, pros: ethically and morally correct. Educating faculty on copyright infringement laws. Saving school districts from possible lawsuit. That could be a big issue and a big saver. Cons: Mrs. Lynn does not feel successful at her job. Take ample amount of time to get teachers educated on copyright policies. Option 3, pros: statement would definitely be made to other staff about breaking copyright laws. You could lose a long time. Good educator who is looking to stretch the district's dollars have to hire another individual. You could ruin relationships built with other faculty members. Best option, option 2. Pick up distributed computer programs from teachers. Inform every staff the importance of copyright laws and policies. Meet with the PTA to inform them what has happened is ethically wrong, and think of strategies for another fundraiser. Implementing decisions, school policies that need to be developed. Copyright policies need to be established so no more instances like this take place. No material will be distributed to other teachers unless a permission release is sent by the publisher. Until that time, no material is to be shared with other teachers. If there is a license that needs to be purchased, the school district will purchase the necessary license to use in the classrooms for, like, instance, Adobe or like Word or something like that. No downloading programs on school computers without principal's permission. Adhere to that our school is invested in the well-being of students, but we will not break the law. Expectations that need to be developed. As a school librarian, Mrs. Lynn should know copyright violations and copyright laws and violations. I would write her up for the copyright violations and also have her personally put on a probationary period. Mrs. Lynn needs to ask the corporate computer company permission before distributing CDs to teachers. Make Mrs. Lynn self-report her violations to the corporate computer company. Mrs. Lynn will be fully responsible for any fines that may result from this. Communicating policies to stakeholders. Communicate policies, laws, regulations, and procedures to appropriate stakeholders, school stakeholders. Communicate these policies to board members and service meetings with all stakeholders. You could have workshop, orientation, seminars, professional development opportunities, flyers in the school lounge, hallways, classrooms, etc., all throughout the high school, and also email blasts. Monitor and ensure adherence. Large amount will be from faith. From faith, the teachers will not break copyright infringement policies. The IT department is able to check teachers' computers to see if any software has been illegally installed. Involving community members in the policy planning. Inviting community members to school board meetings to communicate their thoughts on copyright policies. Make a motion to add or subtract from the school's policy on copyright violations. You could also do it in the student handbook. School property under computer use. Not allowed to download pictures, music, or other copyright materials that does not directly relate to class material. Have students and parents sign off on the student handbook. And that is my case study. Thank you.